Well, good morning, my friends. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Behind the Mic with me, Mike Avery, here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. On kind of a overcast, kind of a cloudy Wednesday morning, but I'm always glad to be here in the studio. And always glad to have you along with us, including Cliff. John, time is getting short until our A Hunt with Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters here, coming up in less than a month now at this point. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy? How's the family? How's the fam, as the kids say? Always nice to have you along with us. Dave and I share kind of a common background, both the son of kids. So pastors' kids are called PKs. We're CKs, cops' kids. Martin, good morning. Rick, good morning. How are you? It is a beautiful. It's starting to. It's still kind of cloudy here, but it is indeed a beautiful morning. Uncle Johnny, how you doing, buddy? I so enjoyed last weekend. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that just a riot and just relaxing? And Johnny, I have never seen you hit a golf ball like you did on Saturday. You were on fire, my brother. John Callison said he shot his bow the other day. You better practice. What does Bill Piles say in his emails? Shoot, and then shoot some more, and then shoot some more. Good morning, Todd. How are you? I'm glad to hear that, Dave. Steve, good morning. Mad Jack over on YouTube. How are things over on YouTube, buddy? Steve's over on YouTube as well. Kevin Coyote Killing King Rott of Overdrive Outdoors is with us as well. Always a pleasure, Kevin. How are you? I suspect Kevin's getting ready for the upcoming bow season, which starts about a week and a half now. A week and a half. It's getting here fast. I was out checking trail cameras yesterday and food plots. Jerry, good morning, Jerry. Jason checking in from the Ford Dearborn truck plant. Good morning, Brian. How are you? Oh, Craig, how did it go? My good friends Craig and Michelle Plowman bought themselves an Angler Quest. How was the maiden voyage? Was it a shakedown cruise, Craig, or did you guys fish? And how was it? You're going to love that boat. You're going to absolutely, well, you know that. You've been on my Angler Quest a few times. You know you're going to love that boat. But what does Michelle think? Right? What does the queen think? I'm sure she loves it too. Hey, Tim, good morning. How are you? Thanks for joining me on this edition of Behind a Mic. My name is Mike Avery. Here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio, I'm actually behind two mics. My social media mic. There's Michelle right there, and my brother. There's Michelle. Said she loves it. Good. I knew you would. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm, awesome. No fishing. Glad I went up to the 200 horse motor. Yeah. Hey, you keep bigger is always good, right? The first Angler Quest I had a 150 horse outboard, a Merc on it, and I thought this is great. I couldn't be happier. And then I went to a 200, and then a deuce and a quarter, and now the 300. And it's like you can never have enough horse. You can never have too much horsepower for sure. And the thing is that a Merc on that, Craig? The thing about these big new outboards these days, the big outboards, is you can troll right down and fish with them. So you can run with them and you can fish with them. It's all good. A little more headroom, if you please. Perfect. That's the max on the 22-footer, Suzuki. Gotcha, Craig. That's a 22-footer. Excellent. Good morning, Ruben. How are things in Colorado? Again, Craig, I am so happy for you and Michelle. It's a great boat, but you know that. Good morning, Kevin. How are you? My name is Mike Avery. This is Behind the Mic here in the Outdoor Magazine radio studio. I'm here to record this week's Outdoor Magazine show. I will tell you who's coming up on the show here in just a little bit. Fall now officially just around the corner. Fall comes in on Saturday. Saturday, I'll be sitting in the big house at about the 46-yard line, 9 or 10 rows up. Thank you to my daughter, Shelby. Ed, good morning, buddy. How are you? Nice to hear from you, as always. I have not sighted in the 10-point yet since I got it. New strings and cables. It's one of those things that's on my list, but it's got to be, it keeps moving up my list every day for sure. Good morning, Jim. How are things over in Hersey? What else is going on? I did make it out yesterday to put some fresh batteries in some trail cameras, to hang a couple of new trail cameras, and to check on our food plots. These cellular trail cameras are amazing, aren't they? I mean, they're scouting while we're sitting home. Good morning, Brett. Appreciate you joining me on this edition of us on this edition of Behind the Mic. Hey, Ron. Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters up in White River, Ontario, Canada. I say this all the time, and I'll continue to say it. If you are looking for a bear hunting adventure, one that you don't have to worry about a draw, you can buy your tag over the counter. Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. He hunts in early June. He hunts in mid-August. The odds of getting a bear are very good. The odds of seeing a bear are extraordinary. I can't recommend Ron highly enough. And he's a good guy. Kevin's waiting for the fall walleye run on the Detroit River. Good morning, Jason. How are you? Mad Jack says, keep the pics coming of happy, smiling faces. Go Blue, high school classmate's son. Number one, oh, Go Blue. Number one is your high school classmate's son. Who is that, Michelle? What's his name? Good morning. Bow season open since the 15th. However, just too warm still in Missouri. Yeah. I didn't know you were a Missouri guy, Larry. Jim checking in from Gladwin County. Roman Wilson. What position is he? Number one would be Roman Wilson. Oh, is he a backup quarterback? Randy. Hey, Johnny, how you doing, buddy? You're not quite done bear hunting yet, are you, Johnny? Roman Wilson, backup quarterback, if I remember right now. Larry, past 5 years, aching to get back home. Roman Wilson, University of Michigan. Wide receiver. Yeah, you're right, Michelle. Johnny's got two more coming in for Monday. Monday would be the beginning of the third season, right, Johnny? Michelle says he's had about 5 TD catches this year. Well, I'm behind the ball literally here because the first game was Labor Day weekend. My daughter was getting married, and we couldn't get a cable in there, so I didn't get to watch that. Last weekend, I was up north playing golf, and we couldn't get the game. So this weekend, as I'm sitting in the stands, will actually be the first game that I really get to watch, and I'll be there in the stands. Thank you, daughter Shelby. Food plots look good. Can't wait to sit in a new Primal quad. You're killing me, Mike. Mike says his food plots look good and he can't wait to sit in his new Primal quad pod stand. I want a Primal quad pod stand, and I don't have one. No contact yet with the new DNR director, Ron. I'm kind of letting him get his feet wet. Then I'll jump. I'll jump in and try to get him. Good morning, Sam. Thanks for helping me out. Sam is the guy, Sam Austin, who's on here right now. Sam is the guy who looked at my 10-point crossbow and said, Avery, you need a new string, which I kind of knew. And Avery, you need new cables. Sam, I didn't get a chance to ask you, how did you know? Now, the string I get, but the cables, how do you know from looking at cables that cables need to be replaced? Good morning, Davina. How are you? Jim drove through Rapid River. The store wasn't open yet. He wanted to stop. Thank you, Michelle. I'm really looking forward to it. And this will actually be the first time that Shelby and I have had a chance to get together and breathe and talk since the wedding. So I'm looking forward to that, some quality time. Kevin says, "Good morning, Mike. Should be great turkey hunting in Clare County next spring. Seeing lots of birds on our trail cameras." Good morning, Tim. How are you? I have a fall turkey tag in my pocket. Let me make a note on that. I have a fall turkey tag in my pocket. So if a longbeard walks by when I'm sitting out there waiting for a deer, I'm going to put an arrow through him. Matt, good morning. Hey, Matt, how are things down on Lake Erie? Good morning, Mike. Randy Iamurray. Randy, I saw your pictures. In fact, I did a screen capture of that one big one. Do you mind if I post that? Would you mind if I post it? Randy, I have not seen perch like that on Saginaw Bay in a long time. Randy, you are like the king of perch in my mind right now. As you know, I can't find perch, and when I do, I can't catch them. Of course, I got to go out to try, right? I'm actually thinking here sometime in the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to pull the Angler Quest. So, Randy, can I post your picture? And congrats. Germfast. Joe's checking in from Germfast. How are things in the Yoop? Matt said the fish are mostly out deep. Okay. Sam said the serving was separated pretty good. That's why I suggested using that serving lube. It helps prolong that from happening. And the thing of it is, Sam, I put string wax and string lube on a lot. Apparently not enough. Randy says, go for it. Will do. Rick says he saw those pics. Awesome. What else? So I have not sighted in that new 10-point since getting the strings and cables replaced. Sam says I'll probably be close, but I'm going to want to fine-tune it, so I will. Just haven't done it yet. Our food plots were looking pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. Pretty good. I find that it's best when you're checking trail cameras and replacing batteries. I find that it's best if you walk through the woods smoking a cigar. And if you see my post here on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see what I mean. I'm glad that I did, though, because the mosquitoes tore me up. What is Sam saying here? Sam says, did you end up having some of the boning served? I do. I've got the boning stuff at home. Cam Ease. I've got the boning. I don't know if it's called Cam Ease. No. Well, I've got you here, Sam. Should I be lubing the cams as well and the points that they rotate on? What would they be called? The cam pivot point? I can't think of the name of it. Hey, good morning, Tim. How are you, buddy? Mike, good morning. How are you? Have a good day, Mike. Got to go switch around some stands with Gabe. Might have to grab some cigars before we go. Have fun, guys. Say hi to Gabe for me. Tommy, Tommy, where'd you go, Tommy? Good morning. Ransom's back in town. His brother's meeting up with him tomorrow to pick up a 7-foot quad stand. So, Ed, if I gave axles, thank you, Craig. Should I be lubing the axles, Sam? If I gave Bob a call and Bob authorized one of those stands, would your brother be willing? They're so darn heavy, though. I don't even know how I would get it. They're so heavy, but I want one badly. Oh, that was nice. Spit right out of my screen. Patrick, good morning. How you? Axle, yes, axle. And do I lube the axle? Am I supposed to be lubing the axle, Sam? Love the quad pod stand, but just the installation instructions were a little better. The free sticker, yeah, they are hard. I saw some guys try to put one together one time, and it was not easy. John was out perching last weekend. I know exactly. Kept 15. We had 4 12-inchers, and I saw exactly where you were, John. I saw your pictures, and I recognized the background. Sam says, I would be putting that serving fluid on all the servings except the center serving. This is starting to get complicated here now. No wonder mine needed to be replaced. Good morning, Scott. Hey, Mike, how you doing, Michigan Outdoorsman? So what's on my list here? What else? I will probably be pulling the Angler Quest here in the next couple of weeks. Every year I say I'm going to get out and fish in the fall, and every year I don't. I don't know why. I don't know why I tell myself I'm going to when I know I'm not. I'm just going to pull it. Were the nets still out there, John? That is exactly where I ran into the nets here several weeks ago now. Good morning, Amy. How you doing? John Callison, were the nets still there? Leave it in for ducks. I should be leaving it in for fall walleye. Honestly, that's what I should do. I know this. I should leave the Angler Quest in for those big fall walleye. And I never do. Good morning, Kevin. Checking in from the Oaks Campground. Yes, there were guys all over by them. At least they're marked. Hey, John, at least they're marked. Mike's with me. He says, this high-tech serving talk is a bit confusing. Maybe I need to take a drive to Jay's. I had my boat checked out there, but they didn't hear about this. Thank you, Marco, for bringing me. Marco says, who's on the show this week? Charlie Root is in the house. Are you telling me I didn't print out this week's rundown? Yeah. Oh my gosh! I think I printed it and left it. Oh my gosh! Okay, so I can't. All right, I got to do a little behind the scenes stuff here because oh my gosh, I cannot believe. So I'm going to completely ignore you folks for a minute because apparently I didn't print out the rundown. Okay, save. Yeah, really. Let me just see if I can't just. Crap. I mean, poop. I mean, whatever the word is. Download PDF to the desktop and then send Charlie. I need glasses for this. We're getting serious here now. Cheaters. New. Charlie. Rundown. Attach. Rundown, choose, send. I guess I can tell you if I got it up here on the. Okay, who's on the radio show this week? Jared Gash talking about hunting for bears with hounds. He took Dixie Dave out. They did not get a. They did not get a bear. They had a small one. Bill Winowicki of the Michigan Charter Boat Association talking about the consent decree. Rich Krazan of Killer Food Plots. Is it too late to spruce up your food plots? I think we need to spruce up ours. Greg Abbas talking about talking with deer, about talking to deer. Lieutenant Mark Papanaw of the DNR answering our questions from last week. Can you shoot a feral cat? Can you shoot a feral dog? And where do you need the Michigan recreational passport? I told you I was going to answer those. It just took me a while. And then Eric Long of Longline Charters talking about fishing Lake Erie and, of course, wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. Jerry's cleaning fish, rub it in. Sam says if anybody has any questions, they can private message him. Sam used to work at Jay's as a bow tech, as a bow expert extraordinaire, and he's the guy who replaced my string and cables on my 10-point. Randy said, yes, the nets were still out there yesterday, which leads me to believe you got those jumbos in a certain part of the bay, very near and dear to my heart. Hey, good morning, Captain Mark. How you doing, buddy? Are you still fishing, Mark? Stupid question. I know you are. Jerry checking in from Algonac. Tim says, we need answers. Lisa says, hey, Mike, my husband has bags under his eyes. Cellular trail cameras notifications all night. All right, Dave, have a good day. Hey, Judy, how you doing? How you doing? Always nice to have you along with us. Always nice to hear from you. Judy is as hardcore as it gets when it comes to the outdoors. And I appreciate that. Charlie, you're a lifesaver and a gentleman. And women say he's good looking, too. Well, the good looking part you have to agree with.
That's why I'm in radio.
Charlie says he's got a face for radio. That's why I'm in radio. Okay, here we go. Scott, I've been waiting to hear from you, buddy. Scott Hand is in Montana right now. He's on the mountainside, and he has bugling elk coming up this morning. Go shoot one. Get off your phone, Scott Hand, my buddy, and go shoot one. Good luck to you. Can't wait to see the pictures. Mark says Eric Long is a great guy. He is a great guy, as are you, Captain Mark Pananzek. Mark Pananzek is one of those guys where nobody knows how to say his last name. Penizak, Panozik, Poinzik. I can't imagine. I had to just say finally, Mark, how do you say your last name? Pananzek. Pananzek, Pananzek, Pananzek. For those of you listening, it's Captain Mark Pananzek. Hopefully we cleared that up for you, Cap. How much time, Mr. Charlie?
2 minutes.
2 minutes? Oh, my gosh. I could tell the history of the world in 2 minutes. First, the Lord created. Then man screwed it up. Then people took over and got in power, and the world went crazy, and here we are. History of the world in 15 seconds. God created, man screwed it up. You're going to send me a picture of my bear? Please do. Scott says, watching them come up a mile away from the hayfields. Scott, didn't we have this hunt a few years ago in Colorado? Is this the same hunt we're talking about? You're just revisiting it now, 10 years later? Mike says, nailed it, Mike. And it took all of 15 seconds. When you have a world where they're trying to convince kids they need to get their sex changed before they even know what they're all about, yeah, we're in a bad place. But we all know that. Those of us watching here this morning know that, don't we? What else? Oh, tonight, Wednesday night at Live at 7 o'clock. Good morning, James. How are you? Ed Roy of the Michigan Wildlife Council is going to join me. Ed Roy of the Michigan Wildlife Council to talk about that group and their Here for Generations campaign. I am a big fan of the Michigan Wildlife Council. Their job, as they see it, and it's their mandate and their directive, is to promote hunting and fishing. That was not a hunt in Colorado. It was an ambulance driver for you, or you were an ambulance driver for your day. I know. That was an interesting. It was an interesting experience, wasn't it, Scott? Davina has private messaged Sam Austin. So Sam is your guy. If you have questions about that type of thing, Sam is your guy. Sam's your man. Sam's the man. Woo woo. He's the man.
5, 4,
3,
2, 1.
and blast off.
WSGW.
I got so many extra clocks in here. I got to delete. 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 Okay. Greg says you missed a step. Then we got woke. Yeah, we got woke first. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. After you get your bear, you can take you fall fishing. All right, my friends, I need to switch gears here and change my focus from you, my good friends, to my friends and the broadcast audience. Have a good day. Talk to you tonight. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine radio show here on the Outdoor Magazine radio network on more than 30 radio stations across the great state of Michigan, and so glad to have you along with us on what is arguably the most wonderful time of year. As you are hearing this show this weekend, it is officially fall. Woo woo. What a great time of year this is. Even if you don't like to hunt or fish, you can say that fall is probably the best season of the year. Temperatures are down, humidity's down, the leaves are changing, and it is absolutely beautiful. The only problem with fall is it doesn't last long enough. It's followed by that season that the season that shall not be named. The one that brings the cold and the white stuff. And I will admit, the older I get, the less I like that season. I know. I'm getting to be weak in my old age. And I'm not going to argue with that. But I do love the fall. Let's see. So what's going on right now? I have not resighted my crossbow in since the strings and cable were replaced. I suspect it's pretty close. I need to do that here in the next few days to be ready for the upcoming season. And if you haven't been shooting, you should be. I suspect, though, if you're a bow hunter, you have been out there. I have been out, though, getting ready for the bow season. I went out and replaced some batteries in some trail cameras on a piece of lease property that we have. I never thought that I would be blessed to have a piece of lease property. But a few years ago, we kind of fell into this. And Gene and Pam have opened up their beautiful piece of property about a half hour from my house. I don't even know how we got access to it, but we did. And now we lease this property. And they have allowed us to put in some food plots, to put in some trail cameras. It's almost like I'm a real deer hunter here now, right? Because unless you have trail cameras and unless you have food plots, you're not a real deer hunter these days, it seems. Unless you have a hit list, unless you have trail camera pictures and you've named the deer, and unless you allow the deer, unless you pass the deer for a few years ahead of time and allow it to become mature, you're not a deer hunter anymore, are you? And it's those factors that pushed me away from deer hunting for several years. I just couldn't buy into it. And I still don't buy into it, I'll be honest with you. I think the hunting experience is very personal and it's very private. And it should be hunt your hunt is the slogan I like to use. Hunt your hunt. If your hunt involves hunting a 140-inch, 10-point mature whitetail that you've named and you have trail camera pictures of and you've passed in previous years and you've decided that he is indeed mature, God bless you. Have at it. Go for it. But if your hunt means you have a tag in your pocket, your hunting opportunities are limited, you're on state land, and a 1.5-year-old forkhorn walks in front of you, and you look at that animal and say, man, is he going to taste good? God bless you as well. Please don't fall into the deer hunting hype that is outdoor television today or YouTube videos today. If you don't have access to 1,000 acres in Missouri that nobody else hunts but you, you might want to change your expectations. Your expectations might not be what you see on outdoor television or on some of the big YouTube channels. That's okay. It's your hunt. It is your experience. It is your harvest. It is your tag. Hunt your hunt. As long as you're hunting legally, I don't care what you do. The morals and ethics of hunting are a very, very personal experience. I can't tell you what your hunting morals or ethics should be. I can tell you what the law is, and I would ask you to abide by that. But beyond that, I don't care what you do, and I'm not going to judge you, and I'm not going to shame you, and I'm not going to say you should have let it go. You know, be like Elsa, let it go. No, I'm not going to say that. Charlie just looked at me over his shoulder. Hunt your hunt. Take the animal that you want. Be proud of it. I will say, however, that if it's an animal that you are somehow or for some reason going to apologize for after the fact, then hold off. Don't let that arrow go. You should never apologize for a harvest. Doe, small buck, big buck, I don't care. If you have made the decision that if you harvest that animal, you will be proud of it and it'll feed your family, then go for it. But don't ever apologize. Don't ever say, well, he's not my biggest. Don't ever do that. There's no reason for that. So anyway, I got off track. So I was out, and we do have, so on this lease property that we're so blessed to have, we put up trail cameras. And I will tell you right now, I'm a casual deer hunter. I am not hardcore at all anymore. I deer hunt because it's part of the Michigan outdoor experience. And because my grandpa deer hunted, and because my dad deer hunted, and because my son deer hunts, and because my grandkids deer hunt, I want a deer hunt to be part of that experience as well. Beyond that, I'd rather bear hunt. I'd rather walleye fish. But deer hunting season is here, and I'm going to be a part of it. So we have these trail cameras out, and these cellular trail cameras are crazy these days, aren't they? Do they make it easier? I don't know if they make it easier. Do they provide more information? Absolutely. When you've got a cellular trail camera out in the woods or on a food plot or whatever, you can see the deer that are coming and going. You can see where they're traveling, when they're traveling, and if you've got a nice buck in the area, you can see him as well. Does that make it unfair? I don't think so. Does it provide valuable information? Absolutely. So I changed the batteries on the trail cameras. I hung a couple of new trail cameras, and while I was out there, I did a recon of the food plots that we put in just before Labor Day. Some of them are looking pretty good. A couple of them could use some help. I did find, though, in my casual deer hunting way, I found it very valuable that when you are wandering through your hunting woods, changing the batteries on your trail camera, it's best to do it with a cigar in your mouth. You took your human scent and the scent of a cigar into your hunting property? Yes, I did. And I was darn glad that I did because the mosquitoes ate me alive. I didn't even think to take a thermosol with me. Cigars and mosquitoes don't match. They don't like each other. So anyway, that was fun. So we're getting ready there. What else is going on? Bear season is open. I do not have a tag this year. I will next year, hopefully. And if not, I will. Either way, I'm going to Ontario to hunt with Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. No doubt about that. I'll be back. Goose season's open. Fall turkey season's open. I have a fall turkey tag in my pocket. I am not going to actively hunt fall turkeys, but while I'm out there, sitting in that Wraith 270 see-through ground blind from Primal or in one of their tree stands, if a longbeard walks by, I'm going to put an arrow through him. Small game season. Boy, we overlook small game season, don't we? We should. I do. All right, let me rephrase. I overlook small game season, and I shouldn't. Fall fishing, of course. Oh, my goodness, the perch they're getting on Saginaw Bay. Not everybody, but the people who are dialed in and in the know are getting perch. I see pictures of these things. I'm like, Avery, why are you not out there? Why are you not back out on the angler quest, fishing perch for the next couple of weeks, and then switching over to fall walleye? I say every year I'm going to do it, and every year I don't. And to be honest with you, I'll probably pull the angler quest here in the next couple of weeks. I know I am missing tremendous opportunities, but it is what it is. Hey, coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show, after the break, Jared Gash talking about running bears with hounds. Now, he took wild game chef Dixie Dave Miner out this past week. We're going to talk about that hunt and more. Bill Winowicki, the president of the Michigan Charter Boat Association, his charter season is finally over now, so he can weigh in on the consent decree decision. Rich Krizan of Killer Food Plots, is there something you could do now to tweak those before the season starts, or is that window of opportunity over? In hour number 2, Greg Abbas talking to whitetails. Lieutenant Mark Papineau answering a couple of Ask Avery questions. And then Eric Long of Longline Charters in hour number 3 about fall fishing on Lake St. Clair and more. And we will wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. My name is Mike Avery. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address is mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. I would love to hear from you, and I appreciate you joining us this week right here on Outdoor Magazine. All right, my friends, I got a little off track, as I sometimes do, a little off topic, but sometimes that's good. Did you get my Let It Go? Let It Go. Did you like that? Have a good day, my friends. I hope you can join me tonight, 7 o'clock, for another edition of Wednesday Night Live, when Ed Roy of the Michigan Wildlife Council will join me for that. Have a good day.